Ball Show. We're proud to say that we had a record number of entries this year. We also worked very hard at having the best variety of divisions that we could possibly offer the public to see. The hard work of the board of directors has paid off. We're very proud of this show this year. I want to thank everybody once again that attended. We're going to turn things over to Jim and let you guys know what the upcoming season looks like. Thank you.
Jamie, I'm going to introduce you first. All right, well, thank you all for being here for this. Waiting for more people. Hopefully there'll be more coming, but we're getting this underway. We know a lot of people are out, have no power at home, and a lot of them had a hard time getting here, so please be careful on the way home. Watch out for the power lines and don't drive through caution tape. I want to bring up first the voice of Sharon Speedway and Expo Speedway. He's a Hall of Famer with us. He had his radio show on Cool 1017. The voice of Sharon Speedway and Twin State Hall of Famer, Mr. Jim Pollock. You can clap for him.
You can boo too, don't bother me either. And like Jim said, be careful when you do leave here today. Coming over here from Lordstown through Warren, out Elm Road, nobody has power. There's trees all over the place, so just be extra careful tonight. Sharon's going to open up with their 94th season coming up on May 13th. I've had a lot of people that I've seen out and about ask me why we are starting so late. We did a little survey over the last 5 years in April. Every race that we've had scheduled, we haven't even made 50% of them because of the weather. So we decided to push it back to May 13th, and that'll be our season opener. Our regular divisions on our Steel Valley Thunder Saturday night shows will be the 410 sprints, and this is not every week. This is mixed in from time to time. The Pro Stocks, the Economods, the Rush Sprints, the Rush Modifieds, the Up Modifieds, and the Big Blocks are going to be at the track for 7 times this season, thanks to some sponsorship. We kicked the season off, as I said, on May 13th with our Steel Valley Thunder 410 sprints, Rush Sprints, Rush Modifieds, and Economods in the first opening night. Then we start a couple of specials in the month of May. First of 2 World of Outlaw sprint car shows. The first one will be on May 20th with the Pro Stocks also on the card. The second one will be September 23rd with the Economods on the card. World of Outlaw late models will be at Sharon Speedway 3 times this year, only a little differently, all 3 at one time. Thursday, Friday, Saturday, the 25th, 6th, and 7th of May, called the Battle of the Border. We're going to pay $6,000 to win on the Thursday and Friday show, and $20,000 to the winner on the Saturday night show. And again, that's the World of Outlaw late models. We actually have 3 late model shows this year with the 3 World of Outlaws. We just recently put one together thanks to some sponsorship from Stackhouse Construction. In August, we'll run a unsanctioned late model show for $3,000 to win and $300 to start. 2 all-star shows this year. Again, Tuesday, June 13th will be the annual Speed Week show with the Rush Sprints, and the Lou Blaney Memorial, which is going back to July 8th. That features, again, that'll be the 15th annual Lou Blaney, featuring the 410 sprints and the BRP Big Block Modifieds. Speaking of the big blocks, as a matter of fact, this year's Lou Blaney Memorial is sponsored by Ryan Blaney's Family Foundation and Ballot Management. The big blocks this year are going to return thanks to some sponsorship from Alcon Mechanical, Autism Awareness, King Brothers Ready Mix, King Sanitary, and Russ King Racing. Those 4 races that they put together were on June 17th, July 15th, and August 25th, each paying $1,500 to win and $2,000 or $200 to start. Yeah, $2,000 to start. There'll be a boatload of cars there, huh? On Wednesday, August 30th, they'll be running with the 410 sprints for $2,000 to win. And they'll also be back on Friday and Saturday, September 8th and 9th for the Apple Fest. And they'll be there on both nights. Our PA Speed Week will come back to Sharon Speedway on the 3rd of June. That'll be a four-division night. That's sponsored by Schaefer Lubricants, one of their sponsors, and JS Bova Construction. We'll be running, as I said, 4 divisions that night. We have 2 Wednesday night Thunder shows this year. One on June 28th and one on August 30th. Featuring the 410 sprints on both nights with the rush sprints on June 28th and the big blocks on August 30th. One of our sponsors stepped up this year, Cortland Mower Sales, came aboard. And it was their crazy idea to sponsor this Wednesday night Thunder, as we're calling it. So we're so thankful to them because they jumped the purse up to $4,000 to win and $400 to start for the sprint cars that night. As I mentioned before, with the big blocks, we're happy to have them back because they've been kind of been knocking at the door for the last 6 to 8 months, driving Dave crazy. We're also going to feature 4 UMP Modifieds events this year. One on June 24th, July 22nd, August 5th, and August 19th. August 19th will be the Bill Gabrielson Memorial. Joe Gabrielson got in contact with the racetrack, wanted to do something to honor his father, who he never got to see race. And August 19th, we'll be doing that. It'll pay $1,558 to win. Also, in conjunction with those UMP Modifieds, I just recently was told that Erie Speedway, Raceway 7, and Sharon Speedway are together in a point fund for these UMP Modifieds, taking their 14 best finishes between the 3 tracks, and they got right now a little over $7,000 in their point fund for the UMP Modifieds. So I think that's a pretty good deal. It's been a long time since some of these tracks finally decided to come around and work together. We've always had ideas, but with the folks up north, and they kind of nixed our ideas up until recently. So evidently they're seeing the light at the end of the tunnel. As I mentioned, August 12th, we will feature an unsanctioned late model race. We'll also run the Pro Stocks, the Rush Sprints, and the Rush Modifieds that evening. And that'll be brought to you by Stackhouse Construction, called the Stackhouse Super Late Model Showdown. Again, this season we will do the Steel Valley Nationals, July 21st and 22nd, the night before the Nationals, is an open practice for anybody that wants to come and practice. We also will run the qualifying for the Pro Stocks that night, and we will run a King of the Hill race that night on Friday night. And then Saturday night's the big one, the big race, 75 laps. I believe it's going to pay 10 grand to win, but don't hold me to that right now because they're still working on a little more sponsorship for that. And the UMP Modifieds will also be on the card for that one. The rain date for that will be October 6th and 7th. Our final show of the season will be on September 23rd after the Apple Fest. The Apple Fest will be September 8th and 9th. We've got some divisions to be announced, but right now, between the Economods, the Rush Modifieds, Rush Sprint Cars, the 410 Sprints, and the Big Blocks, that'll be some of your divisions that will be competing for the Apple Fest. Our camping spots on a regular night are free. If you're coming to a special show like the World of Outlaws or the Sprint Car Show with the All-Stars or the late model shows, any special, you have to pre-register to get a camping spot in Sharon. We had to do this last year because the county kind of took us and put our arm around our back and just kept bending it and bending it because they kept upping the price of our permit. We have to have a permit for every special show we have at the racetrack. That's not Sharon Speedway's rule, that is our Trumbull County Commissioners trying to get some money. So just be prepared. I've had a lot of people, I usually park the campers, folks, and I get a lot of people say, well, I didn't register. I'm sorry, there's a couple of shows, I had no spots left. They were already taken. They were already sold out. So if you want to come, bring your camper and have a good time at our special shows. You've got to register online to get your camping spot. That way when you show up, you show me this little thing on your phone. I back you in. You're good to go and have fun. Also this season, this just took place over the winter months. All of our races at Sharon Speedway, with the exception of the All-Star races, will be televised through Dirt Vision all season long. Something I didn't know about up until a couple of weeks ago, and I really haven't gotten any more information on it until probably tomorrow at my meeting. So we're looking forward to that and hope to see you at Sharon Speedway. Thank you.
Okay, at this time I'd like to bring up to the podium one of our newer racetrack promoters. It's always great to see an old track come back from the dead, literally from the dead. They put their heart and soul into this racetrack that's on 422 in between Lernerville and Katanning area. Blanket Hill Speedway is back up and running. They're doing a phenomenal job on Saturday nights. They have the same red clay that Lernerville has, and the car counts are growing and growing. They've given us a club night. We've invited them here, ladies and gentlemen, from Blanket Hill. We'll have Shannon speak. Shannon?
Hello, everyone. Can you hear me? Okay. First of all, I'd like to thank Twin State for welcoming us here and for letting us participate in your track nights. So that's pretty awesome for us as a little track. I'd like to also start out by thanking our track sponsors so far for this 2023 season: Terry Bowser Excavating, Cottech Express, Windy Wiz Construction, Lias Tire Racing Division, the A-Main Podcast, Sunny 106 Radio, Steve's Fire and Safety Equipment, Kochka and Son Towing, Mallory Resources LLC, Mars Beer Distributor, Blows Logging, Beatty Welding, and Hudson Industries. I'm going to go over our classes real quick. We have a regular 8 classes that we run every Saturday night. Racing is at 7 o'clock on Saturday nights, except for holiday weekends, we are closed. Our classes are 600 wingless, 600 junior restricted, 270, 270 junior sprints, dwarf car, mud lights, and our new class is the Bandits. Our new class, you can find all the rules for these classes on our website, which is www.blankethillspeedway.com. Our new class is a class for ages 5 through 8 years old. Some of our big events that are coming up this season: opening night will be May 6th. We also have our 2023 BHS Sprint Car Spring Nationals on May 20th. We will have a 3-day show in July, which is the Bill Stuyvesant Memorial. Also in July, we will have the Ohio Micro Sprints 270 Series and the Mason-Dixon 270 Series collide on July 22nd. In August, we'll have our Fan Appreciation Night and the Twin State Auto Racing Club Night. That's August 12th. In September, we'll have the Mike Borwick Senior Memorial Race. It's a 1,500 to win 270 race. That is September 9th. In October, we'll hold our Apple Fest, which is our regular 8 divisions, and we'll also have some Sharp Mini Lates there that night. Also in October, our final event for the season is our Halloween Bash, which we hold on October 28th. We'll have a nice event that day with a lot of fun things for the kids to do, such as a Halloween costume, hay rides, and it's a day event, so it makes it nice for the kids. We also offer free camping any weekend that we race, so that's available to all the folks that are hauling in from Eastern PA or Ohio. Does anyone have any questions for me or Phil?
Are we dealing with the asphalt or dirt track?
We are. Yeah, we have red clay. We are on the same clay that Lernerville has.
Thank you, Shannon. Thank you, Shannon. Ironically, we have our Lernerville Club Night the night before at Lernerville, and Blanket Hill is just down the road about 20 minutes on 422. I asked Shannon if there was a hotel in between to stay at. She goes, "There's one, but I wouldn't go there. I wouldn't trust it." And literally, there's not one hotel in between Lernerville and Blanket Hill. There, you actually have to go to Indiana to get a decent hotel. But we want to thank you for helping us and supporting our club and being here tonight. We thank you, and please support them. You know, they run all the smaller divisions, but they're there racing. I was there last year a couple times. Great atmosphere. It reminds me of Hickory back in the day when it was a real big family track, you know. So please support Blanket Hill when you can out there. Thank you again. I'd like to bring up a friend of mine for many, many years. He's a writer. He's written for the old RPM magazine that was purchased by Larry Auto after Kitty and David Horn sold it. He goes around to all these different racetracks. He travels more than I do. I've kind of eased up on my traveling, but he goes all over the place, including down to South Carolina. He's going to tell you about a couple of things that have been going on, plus the racing paper that we work for, ladies and gentlemen. Chuck Bollinger, Hall of Famer, Chuck Bollinger.
They talked me into doing this, so I don't know what to say. I don't really know if everybody realizes how lucky we are in this area to have the number of racetracks, a number of different classes. I don't think anywhere else in the country they have the selection of the different car classes, different tracks that we have here. And you really need to support all these tracks. We have the Rush Series. They have five classes, 6 classes. 5 classes, different tracks, and you have the super late models, big blocks, 358 modifieds. In the sprint, you have the Race Saver 305s, 410s, and you have the different micro classes, mini stocks. You add them all up, probably 20 or more classes, and that's just on dirt around here. Nobody else in the country has anything like that. Plus, you have the pavement tracks, you have different classes there. You have the Rush over Jennerstown, the different classes there, and then you have Paynesville, and Lorain County, Sandusky, Midvale, tracks like that. So we really have a nice variety of racing, and you really need to go out and support these tracks, because you go to different parts of the country, they may have tracks that run Saturday nights, that's it. Whatever classes there are, that's what you get to see. That's just your choices. Unless you're in Iowa, which they run about 5 nights a week out there. But we're pretty lucky out in this area, and you really need to support all the tracks and go to the races and enjoy it. Thank you.
Any questions for Chuck about where he's been or anything like that? Also, our paper, Area Auto Racing News, is probably the only actual physical newspaper that's around that covers racing anymore. Lenny Sammons and Earl Krause have been at it for years now, and it covers all of central Pennsylvania, upstate New York, and they take us into their wing as well. All of my coverage gets in, all of Chuck has a weekly column in it, so does Walt Weimer. So we're trying to represent Western Pennsylvania and Eastern Ohio as good as we can in that paper. So if you want to subscribe to it, you can do that. You can go online to aarn.com to get more information. If you buy it, you get a digital copy that goes to your phone on Tuesday. By the time the paper gets to you via the mail, it could be the following Monday or Tuesday or Wednesday, depending on your post office. So it's a real good deal to get, and a lot of people like to collect them and all that. So if you can, please go ahead and join our subscription.
This was the schedule issue this
Well, that's right. Yeah, this week is the schedule issue, which has schedules of all the different racetracks around the area. So it's a nice pull-out section you could keep for reference in your car. Vicki, do you want to say anything at all? No? Okay. I also want to welcome Vicki Emig here. She's in charge of the Rush Racing Series along with Mike Leone. She's been a long-time supporter of our club as well, and we thank you for what you've done for our club over the years, too. We thank you for that. All right, here we go. This is what everybody's been waiting for. I'll take any questions I can possibly answer. I'm the announcer at Michaels Mercer Raceway, right off of Route 19. Ed Michaels owns the facility. We are running on Saturdays like we always have been. Grandstands will open at 5, racing at 7. Our website is michaelsmercerraceway.com. We have a new Facebook page because everybody got hacked for some reason. BRP did, I did, and so did the track. So it's the new Michaels Mercer Raceway page. Anything after February the 5th is on that page. So that'll be the current page to go ahead and join. Our phone number is 724-662-1310 as always. You can always message the Facebook as well. New clay was put down last fall after the Little Guy Nationals. Same clay that Blanket Hill has, Lernerville has, and Sharon has. It's sat all winter with all the cold weather and the snow, so it's packed down. We're supposed to have a practice on Wednesday, but I can about guarantee that's not going to happen because of the weather. We were supposed to open up next Saturday, the 8th, and I don't think we're going to do that either. We want to get cars on that racetrack before we go out there and race for money. We don't want to have a lot of torn up race cars the first night. So we're going to do a practice before we run, but that will be determined on Mother Nature. We are running a different special every night. There's only one night when we have our regular 4 divisions. Our regular 4 divisions are the Race Saver 305 sprint cars, the big block modifieds, the crate modifieds, and also the mini stocks. The 22nd of April is supposed to be our first opener with all of our classes, including the pro stocks that night. They'll be there. The 29th, we have the 410 sprints there. We have them 7 times this year at Mercer. That's going to pay $3,000 to win. And we're also adding the UMP Modifieds, the old EMOD class. They supported us last year for the Little Guy Nationals on 6 days' notice. So we're adding them this year when Sharon does not run them. And I'm going to try to get a hold of somebody up north to get us tied in with that point fund to give the guys an extra incentive to come. Twin State Club Night will be on Saturday, May the 13th. Ed Michaels graciously opens up the upstairs air conditioning booth, which I know Cowboy and Mary Lynn love. All of you members are welcome to be up there that night. That's a little perk that he gives us club members, so please take advantage of that. We'll be closed for 3 weeks due to other things going on around the area. We're going to come back on June the 10th with the Steve Guthrie Memorial, which will be a Boss Sprint show. We're going to race that night in memory of Steve Guthrie, who was in an accident at the track a couple years ago. We're going to honor him that night. June 17th, the 410 sprints are back for $3,000 to win, plus everything else we run with the E-Mods. June 24th, we're trying something different. We're going to have a rodeo at the racetrack. They used to have one in Fredonia. I think they still have it in Fredonia every Saturday night. So we're going to try it on the 24th of June. No racing over the 4th of July, no racing on the 8th. We're going to come back on the 15th of July with the annual Western Pennsylvania Sprint Car Championship. That's going to be 410 sprint cars paying $7,000 to win in an unsanctioned sprint show, along with the junior sprints that night and the pro stocks. Then we're going to come back on the 22nd with the sprints again for $3,000 to win. July 29th will be our only regular show of the whole year with the 4 divisions. August 5th will be the annual Michaels Memorial as we honor Ed's brother and his father and his mother with a 410 sprint show, plus the BRP Modified Tour will be there that night as well. August 12th, $3,000 to win for the 410 sprint cars and the E-Mods. August 19th is going to be a special night. It's going to be the Rick and Bob Ryder Memorial. Those that don't know, Rick Ryder used to drive the number 18 car and also drove the Connie Allen 189. Rick was a huge supporter of the modified class at Mercer. He passed away this year, tragically, and his son also just recently passed away. So we're going to honor him that night with a $4,000 to win modified race. There is lap money involved and there's sponsorship involved. You can contact them on Facebook. They have a Facebook page for the Ryder Memorial. Please check that out. Junior sprints will be there that night as well. No racing over Labor Day. And then Little Guy Nationals, again, the big race of the year will be at the end of September. Vicky started that on a cold day in November, I remember. And what she did with that was amazing. So we continue on with that tradition at the end of September. We had a lot of problems last year. It was not pretty at all. We had a lot of trouble. We're hoping that's behind us. Ed's a racer. His brother raced. His dad raced. They owned the track before. So all he's trying to do is to make racing a go at Mercer. He could have easily closed up shop and said, I'm done with this, but he wants to continue on. So if you can, please support him as well. On behalf of the club, I want to thank you all for coming out and supporting this. I know a lot of these malls are closing up and there's no stores in these malls, but the ones that are here appreciate our business. Annie Ann's as well. She stays open later just for us. We hope to continue this on next year here as well. Without you guys being here, we can't do this. So I want to thank all of you for supporting this club that was created way back in 1972. And I want to thank the promoters that came here tonight to support us as well. I want to go over the club nights real quick. Just so everybody knows, the club nights, they are up there as a big sign, and there's some other 4x6s up there. We have 11 tracks this year that we're going to, asphalt and dirt. We're going to be at Lorraine Speedway for the Nick Bonema Memorial on Sunday, May the 7th. We'll be at Mercer, like I said, the next Saturday night. We have a new track on board, Hummingbird. That's near DuBois. It's a little easier to get there now. They actually built an expressway there because of the airport, so it's a little easier to get to Hummingbird now. That's out in DuBois. We're going to be at Blanket Hill, like I said. We're going to be at Lernerville again, Pennsylvania Motor Speedway. We're going to be at Paynesville, as we always have been. So 11 different nights you can go to a race, and it won't cost you a thing as long as you have your membership card. So you go to one track, it pays for itself. I am working on some other racetracks as well. I want to get Thunder Mountain on board down in Brookville, and also want to get Hilltop in Millersburg on board. I've spoken to both of them, and they're trying to figure out what they're doing with their schedules before they can accommodate us. So look on Facebook or your newsletter for anything else pertaining to any of our club nights. Any questions about club nights at all? All set? All right, thank you all for coming out here tonight. Again, please be safe going home, and hopefully we'll see you at the racetracks here pretty soon. All right, good night, everybody.